Hello, everyone. Welcome to my live, and I appreciate each and every one of you guys for coming over to my live. How is everyone doing today? All right. Yeah, I know we got to wait for the 10-minute mark, but you see the title here. Did a baby die at Portia's daycare? Hmm. I didn't even know Porsha had a daycare, but we're going to get into it. We're going to get into it. And I brought some information for us to back it up. So we're going to get into it. I didn't know Porsha owned the daycare. I didn't know nothing about this. So we're going to get into that. Also, we're going to get into is Melanie doing another TikTok live? Melanie been doing TikTok lives. Oh, wow. She's been doing a great job with the TikTok live. So I guess they keep asking her to come back. But I will be over there. All right, and then we're going to get into Jennifer Williams' husband. His baby mama is on here speaking that he's not taking care of his kids, the 3 and 4-year-old. And we're going to hear her talk, and she's going to let y'all know what's going on. And I do want to say this. How could you be married to a man, allegedly, that doesn't pay child support or doesn't take care of his kids? You up here with all type of designer clothes on, going all out the country, and don't take care of your kids? Who want to be with a man like that? And this is all alleged. So let me get the housekeeping out the way. Everything I say on my channel is alleged and for entertainment purposes only. All things said on this channel are alleged and for entertainment purposes only. Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. There is an allowance for fair use of copyrighted material for such purposes as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research and learning. Fair use, fair use, fair use. I do not own the rights to any of these clips that I may show today. I do not own the rights to any of the clips I may show. All right. Hello, K Cloud 43. Hello, Linda Gamble, my mod, and Capricorn Flower. Thank you guys so much for coming over here, getting my channel together. Hello, Vanessa Jones. Hello. Thank you guys so much for coming over to the channel. All right, so I cannot be with no man. I wouldn't marry a man who didn't take care of his responsibilities. You got all the Gucci on and different things like that, and don't even take care of your kids. And I said last night, why were the kids not in the wedding? But his baby mama is coming out and she's speaking. She said her kids have been allegedly hospitalized, and he didn't even care about it. Now, his auntie is getting on here, coming out defending him, against Evelyn. But what about his kids, the 3 and 4-year-old? Only thing I see him in pictures with is a damn dog. Just saying. That shows what type of woman Jennifer is. She know this man has a 3 and 4-year-old. Would she don't want, him to see the babies or don't want him in any pictures? What is that gonna do something to the pictures? What is that gonna do? They don't got time for the kids? Hello, Lisa Foster, my member. Hello, my tea sipper. Hello. That just shows what type of woman Jennifer is. But we're almost through the 10-minute mark. Also, we're going to talk a little bit about Clarissa Shields, Papoose' alleged girlfriend. She says she has no problem with Remy Ma. She's 30 years old. Papoose is 50? She says she's want to have kids. We all know Papoose has grown kids, and his baby that he had with Remy Ma is his baby girl. He calls her the golden child, Reminisce. Is it Reminisce? His daughter, that he, begged Remy Ma to have. So I don't think he wants any more kids. But hey, she seemed to say next year she wants to have more kids. I don't know if she has met Reminisce yet. I'm thinking that she has not met her. And another thing, this lady is Clarissa Shields is getting so serious with Papoose. She says she loves him, and this man is not even divorced from his wife, which is Remy. So how are you so in love with this man? Tell me you want to have kids next year, and this man hasn't even took care of his business with Remy. Why won't him and Remy Ma get a divorce if both of them are seeing other people? Just saying. And I hope the young lady don't get her heart broke because Remy and Pep could end up getting back together, and I think this lady will lose it. Just saying. All right, I'm just saying. Guys, this don't make no sense. Yeah, 3 and 4 are still babies. So I'm just trying to figure out, as when you marry somebody, you take, if they are a package deal. They are a package deal. So, Jennifer, she have her dogs dressed up. She's always dressed up. And she looks nice all the time. So I don't think she wants them kids in her picture to crap her style. Her Christian, they traveling, they doing their thing. Christian living like he don't have no kids. Now Jennifer, I can see doing that. She don't have any kids. But for him to do that, and the kids have been in the hospital, the baby mama says, and for him not to even care, what type of man is that? That shows you what type of man he is. But I digress. Let's see here. We're almost at the 8-minute mark. Hello, Thelma, my tea sipper. Hello, Valerie Jones. Hello, hello, hello. Yes, Capricorn, 3 and 4 years old. They're still babies. Yes. Also, we're going to talk a little bit about the Diddy trial as well. Guys, let me just tell y'all, some stuff that people do in their bedroom should be kept in the bedroom. These people, I understand people want to get kinky, they want to get down, but baby, Diddy had some wild imagination. The 20 pair of red heels, um, uh, the stuff he had in a Gucci bag, all this stuff. I'm like, wow. Then he wanted to be, after the man got through, he wanted to be rubbed in the stuff. Baby, these people have some desires out of this world. And some people are just freaks like that, I guess. Just freaks. But hey, we're not here to judge. We don't judge over here. People do what they want to do. I'm just here to bring y'all commentary and to report what's going on here. Also, I think that was very sad that, he even playing with the mama, to the point that he told Cassie's mom that he would put out sex tapes of her if he didn't send her $20,000. Cassie's mom and her dad had to take out $20,000 home equity on their house to send to Puff Daddy so he wouldn't put out sex tapes on her. But he was playing with them to see how they would, how far they would go for their daughter. They took out the $20,000 equity on their house and sent it to some undisclosed account, right? So he wouldn't put out the sex tapes on Cassie, right? But then a couple of days later, he sent it back. After you had these people take out $20,000 on their house. What type of sick person does this? Just sick. And I know his kids, gotta be, just devastated listening to all this stuff in the courtroom. And Diddy is well, he is sober. He's not on anything, he's not drunk or on those drugs or anything. So just imagine him listening to all of this and he's sober. I'm trying to see if they got him on anything. Because when you're, drunk and on rugs, your mind is not comprehending everything that's going on. But if you're sober and listening to all this stuff that you was doing, I'm surprised he ain't losing. You are coherent as to everything people are saying and telling you that went on. Because y'all know, allegedly, they said when Diddy woke up in the morning, he did his things, drank and took rugs and everything to the time he passed out. So this is his first time in a long time, allegedly being sober and not on any rugs to know what's going on. Just saying. Now we got 18 likes and 32 in the chat, guys. Can we please get the likes up, please? And thank you. Please and thank you. Can we get the likes up? Now it doesn't cost nothing to hit the thumbs up button. All right, guys, we're at our 10-minute mark. Now, what should we start at first? Hello, Donna. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. So, where do we start at first? Let's start at, let me just see here. Give me 1 second here. I do want, let's start here what happened in the Diddy trial. Let's just start here, guys. We're going to bear with me. We gonna get to the good stuff about, now. And I just want to tell y'all this. I'm not saying everything on my channel is alleged and for entertainment purposes only. It's all alleged. I have nothing against these people. I don't know them. But I do, and I like Porsha. Y'all know that. But I do have to report on what's out here in these YouTube streets. Okay? I do have to report on there. So it doesn't mean I don't like Porsha or anything like that. I just have to report on what's out here in the streets, guys. That's it. I don't know these people. But so don't take it that I'm trying to bash anyone. I'm just reporting on what's out here in these YouTube streets. That's all. That's it. That's all. Let's go. Give me 1 second here.
To SHARI Hayes. This is the Punisher. The Punisher took the stand in the Diddy trial yesterday, and he testified. He didn't wear.
No, he didn't wear that on stage.
He did not wear this, but he is an exotic male dancer. So this is a photo from his Instagram. And he testified about different sexual encounters he had with Diddy and Cassie, and more explicitly he talked about a book that he wrote where he talks about freezer meat and not being able to get erect.
What the hell is freezer meat?
So freezer meat is it leans into the term of if something's frozen it gets hard,
like rack of lamb in the freezer.
Yeah, but it gets small too.
Or like steak or like chicken, this hard meat. Pause.
Yeah.
Tenderloin. Mm-hmm.
No. Okay. Yes, I guess. But basically, his book is all about how he was having these different sexual experiences throughout his career. But the reason why the book came into conversation on the stand was because he actually had talked about Cassie and Diddy in the book, but he never named them. He called them a wealthy married couple in the book. Now, when he first met Cassie and Diddy, it was at the Trump Hotel in New York, allegedly, and he was called there for like $200. So he says that Cassie explained to him, like, look, my husband likes to see me, he's a voyeurist. He likes to see me with other men. But so all we want you to do right now is just like do a sexy dance with me. Baby oil might come into play, and he may come in the room, but don't acknowledge him. So he says that, they were doing exactly what they described. Mm-hmm. And the first time he couldn't get into it is because Diddy allegedly was subtly say these things in the corner, like instructing her.
Yes, that's what he was saying.
What
Yes.
was saying?
He said, because he used to work in the clubs. He's a rock dancer. He said, so he's a little bit deaf from all of the music and the sounds.
What you mean
He just,
He couldn't hear much.
you know, you work in the club all the time. It's loud, so you're hearing. Some people, their hearing be a bit off. He said, now the husband might be in the corner saying something like to the wife, move to the right. He said, but he'd hear, I bet that a-hole is tight.
Fire.
And it would make him instantly. It would make him instantly go soft.
Okay.
So he was having issues. I sent you the. If you want to read the real episode,
You left out a very valuable.
Please
ad-lib.
read.
Yum. I bet his a-hole tight. Yum. Yum is crazy.
But he really said move to the right.
Man, get this man out the
all
stand,
right.
man.
So
You
then,
up here deaf and can't.
Yeah, if y'all gonna play, let me go on the stand and play. I got
What the hell?
Keep going.
another example is
He said that Diddy said, I love that position you're in. My deaf interpretation would be, I can't wait to penetrate him.
What? No.
Get that. See y'all now. Y'all playing
There's
that.
more. There's more to stand. Go ahead, Lauren.
I sent you another
Stay
one.
focused, Lauren.
So he said that, you know, Cassie said, yo, I'm really comfortable with you, allegedly, and I want you to come back. We're going to do this again. So they called him again when they were back in New York, allegedly, to another hotel. And he said, but this time he was like, yo, she said she wants it to go further. I got to be ready. So he took a ED pill, a dysfunction pill, right?
Right.
And because he wanted to be able to like
Erectile
Reform.
dysfunction.
Yeah.
You can say that.
yeah, I said it. He wanted to be able to do all the things. So he said, as he was like, you know, getting ready to do all the things for her, he said he performed a Bruce Lick tongue kung fu into the 36 chambers style fellatio act.
He referred to his butt as a chamber?
No, that's
Don't refer to nobody butt as a chamber.
That was the
no,
box.
that
He was referring to the box.
It was his tongue. Like it was. He was
the
referring
box
like
as
he
a
was going
chamber.
kung
I was
fu.
like, what?
You are not following me at all.
Keep going.
So he
Two
said
all over the
eventually he got to a point where he was, you know, they're actually engaging and you know, having sex, and he couldn't finish. And it was obvious that the couple wanted him to finish. The couple he's saying was Cassie and Diddy, allegedly. So he says he was like, all right, next time I got to take these other pills. So he took a density pill to make it where he was able to get to the end, but it was so dense that he couldn't finish. So
What
he
the
had
hell
to
is a
drink.
density
He
pill?
OD'd on the ED pills.
So now you
It's
got to
supposed
take
to make
another
you.
pill to compensate for something else,
He
like
said-
to wake you up a little bit.
No, he was woke. He was too woke. He had to step out the room, Google it, drink some water, came back, and now he could finish with Cassie. This is what he's alleging in the book. Hold on, I'm not. Let me get to the part.
Get to the good part.
So he says he actually got to the part where he.
about this.
Yes, you do. He actually got to the part where he was able to finish, and he said he was weirded out again and went off again because he felt like the husband was helping the wife clean up from him doing all the things all over her, and he was licking her clean, and that completely turned him off. And he alleges that he went soft again.
Damn. So you're saying
yes? Go ahead, break it
it was
down.
a
I
whole
don't believe this.
semen slurpee?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yes.
I
Oh
don't believe
my
this.
God.
That's according to his book.
Diddy a freak. He a freak. Now we done heard some freaky stuff, but that's just ridiculous.
Okay, guys. So a lot of stuff that was going on with Diddy, like I told y'all, it was some stuff going on with Diddy. And now that Diddy is sober and can, you know, he's coherent to all this stuff, what do you think is going on in his brain that he's listening to all of this? Because every time he was doing all this stuff, y'all, he was not, hello, Monique, at himself. So now for you to be sober and not on the rugs and hearing all this stuff, do y'all think Diddy's going to be able to go through this whole trial hearing all of this explicit stuff that he has done? Let me know what y'all think in the chat. Hello, Monique. Hello, Donna. I don't think he's going to be able to continue to go through this trial, listening to all this stuff that he's done now that he is sober. Let me know what y'all think. You know, because a lot of us do some stuff when we, you know, are, you know, not coherent, when we're on drugs and not sober. So and even as the bodyguard Gene said that he thinks Diddy is getting tired of listening to all of this, and it's embarrassing his family that he's eventually going to ask for a plea deal. I don't know if Diddy's going to ask for a plea deal because that might be a lot of time. But another person said that something happened with the jury where they might ask for a mistrial. But Gene, the ex-bodyguard, seems to not be scared of Diddy. He did testify yesterday and, said some things that happened. But he's also said that he thinks Diddy is going to ask for a plea deal because he's going to get tired of hearing all these explicit things, that's getting leaked out to the public. And if Diddy does get off, his reputation is ruined. He will never be who he was before out here in the industry. Let me know what y'all think about that. He's not going to be who he was out here in the industry anymore. He's not going to be that person anymore out here. Hello, baby girl, 1981. So we will see. So there was a lot of stuff going on with Diddy out here. So also, I did want to go to Christian's baby mama. Take a look at that. Now, I just thought that was disturbing with, your kids out here in the hospital. You won't even go go and check on your kids. What Jennifer don't want you to go check on your kids? What's the problem, sir? I just think that's foul, y'all. That is so foul. So we're going to just take a listen to this right here for a moment. Wait a minute. I just think that's foul. Your man got kids and you won't and you don't want to acknowledge that? Now this is the baby mama, y'all. This is how Christian used to look. This is how he look now. This is how he used to look.
My issue with people is that you think that you can go into somebody's house, build a relationship, get close to those people, and then walk the fuck out and throw a grenade in that bitch and light it on fire. And then you turn around and look back like you did nothing. You take no responsibility for what you've done to cause chaos in people's lives. That's my issue that I have. Because if we really want to talk about it, we have receipts, text messages, conversations showing where you have disrupted the peace in people's homes. That's why you owe people money. You owe your own children money. You owe your own children so much back pay because you don't take responsibility for what you're supposed to do as a father, as a businessman. That's why we're speaking up. So y'all can give zero fucks all you want. So get ready. Because yes, I am mama. I am taking care of these babies. And guess what? I want you to live your best life. Do what you want to do. Travel, see the world, live your best life. But stop causing chaos in other people's lives and not taking responsibility for what you have to do to fix it. Fix it. Stop not paying people back. Stop ignoring the fact that you owe child support. Stop pretending like, oh, life is so grand and we're rich and we have all this money and we're just living our best lives and we don't care what we're doing to everybody else. We're just la, 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 just everybody. We're living our best life. Okay, keep living your best life. But guess what? We're coming for you. We're coming for you because you still owe money. You still need to take responsibility. And if you don't want to do it, we're going to make you.
This is draining. Thank you for everybody checking in on me. Public service announcement. This is draining. I have tirelessly been trying to protect my children for the past few years since this man decided that he was going to make certain decisions and not consider how those things were going to affect the people around him. I mean, and the crazy thing is your children are getting pulled into something and you don't even really want to be their father. You don't check on them. Your kids have been in the hospital. They've been sick. I've heard nothing. Received nothing. Got any type of support for your kids from you. But yet, we do get mentions on TV shows and social media posts. Children are being affected by decisions that adults are making. Toddlers.
My issue with people is that you think that you can go into somebody's house, build a relationship, get close to those people.
So how do y'all feel about this man don't even pay child support for his kids? How do y'all feel about that? Now, this is the man that Jennifer is with, her husband. The kids have been in the hospital. He don't check on his kids. He don't go get his kids, allegedly, and don't pay child support for them either. 28 likes and 27 in the chat. Thank you, Linda. You said if he does get off, he won't live long. Okay. So as a new wife to a man who got a 3 and 4-year-old, which is Jennifer's husband, Christian, wouldn't you think something wrong if this man never gets his kids, don't pay no child support? Would you want to be married to a man who does this to his kids? Kids in the hospital, you don't even go check on them, don't call or nothing? Who would do this? What type of woman are you, Jennifer? So is it all just about you and the dog? What about this man's 3 and 4-year-old kids? No support, no nothing? These are babies. This doesn't make no sense. It doesn't. It doesn't. Jennifer, you just low as a woman. But you know what? I was thinking about this. Why Jennifer don't care? She don't have any kids. So she doesn't know what it's like to be a mother, to get up 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning feeding your kids. Or if your kids are sick, stand up all night with them. SO taking them to the hospital at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. High fevers, earaches and stuff. She has not experienced that because she's not a mother. So she can't relate to a mother. That's the only thing I can see. She can't relate. She can't relate. But they go to court here on June 5th, I think it is, or 4th. He's going to court for child support. Now, Jennifer is married to him, right? So they're going to use her income and his income. So Jennifer, get ready. It's going to affect your income too. You married to him. They're going to, both of y'all income going together. Both of y'all income going together. So Christian came out and showed their marriage certificate. I guess when you're in Paris, you can't get a marriage certificate in Paris. So I guess when they went to Vegas, that's when they got their marriage certificate and got married there. So it shows that y'all are married. I will take that to court. Okay, so yeah, since y'all married, I don't care where the money come from. It got to come from Jennifer. Let it be. Y'all married, y'all as one. So Jennifer, this is what you want. Child support gonna come from out your money. If you said Christian is such a businessman, so the child support gonna come from you and his money, because he just showed the marriage certificate online that y'all are now married legally. So, baby mama, take a clip of that. So if he don't got it, she got it. Just saying. Yeah, so she gonna get some of Jennifer money too, because the man had already showed that they're legally married now. So if he don't got it, they'll take Jennifer's money. And Jennifer got to file taxes and everything, so she can't lie. Say she ain't got this and that. So Jennifer is going to be the big mama. So she the big mama, so she gonna pay for his child support and all the back child support. Because the woman said he owed all type of back child support. So go ahead, big mama. Go ahead, pay your man's bills. Yandy wasn't no fool. Yandy ain't signed no marriage certificate. She said, these baby mamas ain't getting my damn money. And no restitution ain't get it. Now, I'll give her credit for that. She said, hell to the fuck no. I work hard for my money. She said, we will be married spiritually. But I'm not paying for nothing. But, Jennifer, you're going to learn. You're going to learn today. Okay? All right, so let's get into this Porsha Williams. Now, again, I have nothing against Porsha, but I do have to report what's going on. Again, I do not own the rights to these clips that I'm about to show. I do not own the rights to any of this content creator's work. Now, allegedly, Porsha owned a daycare. She was the owner and her mother was the CEO of the daycare. A child, the daycare was a 24-hour daycare, right? So it was this first baby's day of daycare. The mother dropped the baby off at daycare. Okay? I think the baby was 2 months old. Okay? Never knew Porsha owned any daycares. Right? Before Roll Up, never knew her and her mother owned daycares. So Porsha was the owner. Her mother was the CEO. So, you have workers that work at the daycare, right? So the workers went to lunch when everybody can't go to lunch at once. One or two people go at this time because somebody got to stay there and watch the kids, right? But for some reason, all the workers went to lunch and left the 2-month-old baby alone. When they came back from lunch and checked on the baby had turned blue. And so instead of them allegedly trying to call the paramedics, I guess they was trying to get the baby CPR or whatever. Instead of them calling the paramedics. And the baby ended up passing away. But don't take it from me. Let me let y'all hear it. I do not own the rights to any of these clips. I do not own the rights to any of these clips I may show. All the credit goes to the rightful owner here. So give me just a second. Like I said, now people are saying that they think allegedly, and for entertainment purposes only, somebody from Shamia's camp maybe put this out. I don't know. This is all alleged. I do not own the rights to these clips at all. So the credit goes to Coco NT. So let's get to it. So let me just go back here. Again, I do not own the rights to any of these clips, or I do not own the rights to any of them.
I've never heard of this. So I went and looked it up. And y'all, it is some sad.
Let me go back some.
Some tea up in the comments of the video I was watching and told me that Porsha Williams used to own a daycare. And when she owned a daycare and her mama worked there, that a baby died in her care. So I was like, what? How have I never heard of this? So I went and looked it up. And y'all, it is some sad stuff. Like, I never knew this. I knew that her mom owned daycares, but I didn't know that Porsha had owned a daycare and she had got sued and a baby died in her care the day the baby was enrolled, the first day the baby went to the daycare. And I'm like, damn, this is really deep. Because I was over here about to make a video like, it's something weird with Miss Diane and Porsha. Like, did she teach her how to hustle? And now that I'm seeing that, Porsha was copying her mama, starting a daycare in her name. And, her mama was the CEO of the daycare. And then, I'm sure her mom told her, go ahead, marry Simon, get the bag. It just seems like, and do y'all remember a few years ago when Porsha retired her mom on Real Housewives? Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like they've been hustling together for some years, but this is some sad stuff. It has just led me down rabbit hole after rabbit hole after rabbit hole. Like, was Miss Diane even married to Porsha's dad? Because I found his obituary online. They didn't even name her as a wife. they damn near named Porsha as a child of Lauren's mom. And I'm going to get into that also, but let me just point out this. Okay, so Miss Diane posted this in 2020. I'll show y'all the date. Okay, you see the date. It says July 2020. Okay, boom. So Miss Diane Official posted Flashback Friday. I was around 30 years old and owned the first 24-hour child care center in Atlanta. I have taken care of hundreds of children. Now I have the pleasure and honor of caring for my little love at Pilar 24 hours a day. Support Black women in business. Okay. So we already know, we already have this established. Miss Diane has been running daycares because someone in the comments of a video I was watching was saying that, they think that Miss Diane and Shamia's mama fell out over some daycare business, right? I don't know. I think it's a man, and I think that's what it's going to end up being. Did y'all know that Porsha owned a daycare and was sued for $5 million because a child, an infant, died in her care and was sued for $5 million. So I had to go Google it, and they were not lying. I don't know how I never heard of this on The Housewives. I don't know how this has never came up. All the years I've been seeing Porsha on TV, I never heard of this, but it is sad. So let me just read everything to you. Okay, so the first part of the article was talking about how somebody told them that Porsha owned a child care center, and they looked it up and found all these lawsuits. They said Apex Bank filed a lawsuit against Porsha and Child First 24-hour child care in October 28, 2015 in DeKalb County, Georgia, Supreme Court for allegedly defaulting on a loan. It appears her mother, Diane T. Williams, is tied up in the lawsuit since she is the current CEO and CFO and security of the corporation. Or does it say secretary? Y'all, my eyes are so bad. Secretary of the corporation. Okay, then it lists the case numbers. Y'all can go look these up. Go ahead. They're legit. Okay, it says case blah, 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 blah. Child First, 24 hours. Filing date of October 2015 in the Superior General Court. Okay, so it lists the judge, Courtney Johnson, Superior Court, yada, 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 right? Let's go on. Okay, this is just listing Apex Bank. It lists it's a private child care preschool. Porsha Williams, defendant. Okay. Okay, so then it lists the link to the lawsuit. Then it says, in addition to the lawsuit, the child care center and Porsha's mother appear to be defendants in garnishment cases. There are a number of cases for garnishment and disposory actions that settled. Okay, anyone that knows the law, please tell me in the comments what that means. All I'm gathering is that they had a bunch of garnishment lawsuits and they settled them. Okay, but this is when we're going to get into the child. Okay, so it says finally in September 2009, a 3-month-old baby tragically died at the daycare center. The center was not held liable. We're going to get into that because she was sued, and it does say that they reached a $5.1 million settlement, okay, later in the article. Okay, I don't know how involved Porsha was in the day-to-day operations at that time, but I believe she was still listed as the owner. Here's the article from the AJC. Then it says lawsuit. Baby died after being left alone at a daycare. 3:39 p.m. June 23rd by Alexis Stevens. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution. It goes on to say a 3-month-old boy who died in a DeKalb County child care center in 2009 had been left alone while staff members went to lunch, according to a lawsuit filed this week. So this lawsuit was filed in state court, but the center denies any wrongdoing in the boy's death. Now, you got to mind you, back in 2009, wasn't no Ring camera, wasn't everything being recorded. So what I'm just imagining, it's a he say, she say. Why would they think that the staff went to lunch and left the baby alone? I have so many questions. I feel so bad for this baby because when y'all find out it was the first day this baby was dropped off at Porsha's daycare, like, that is sick. That is sick. I feel so terrible. The boy, Daryl Loves II, died on September 15, 2009, the first day he attended Child's First 24-hour child care on Columbia Drive, an attorney for the baby's parents told the AJC, DeKalb County Police, and right from the start, the state agency which regulates child care facilities investigated the baby's death, but no charges were ever filed. At a state hearing, the center was vindicated and has remained open. Okay, that's according to the date of this document that was put out back in the day. But if my baby passed away in your child care and y'all ain't found liable, oh, hell no. I'm not letting that go. Like, tragedy or not, freak accident or not, like the first day my baby gets dropped off, something happens. No, that is not right. According to the lawsuit filed in DeKalb County State Court on Monday, the same day a 2-year-old girl died after she was left outside in a car unattended, or I should say in a van outside of Clayton County Daycare. Okay, so they're just, I guess, establishing that the same day this happened to baby Daryl, another baby died at another childcare center. It says baby Daryl was left unattended and unsupervised for an extended period of time. It says when defendant blank, 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 I'm assuming it's Porsha allegedly, since she's the one who owned the child care center. She was the owner. Miss Diane was the CEO allegedly. It says, so when the defendant's employee returned from her lunch break, she went to check up on Daryl Love II and found him blue and unresponsive, the lawsuit states. After Daryl Love II was found unresponsive, defendant's employees negligently responded to the emergency and negligently failed to immediately call 911. Like, what the fuck do y'all think they was doing? Why wouldn't they have immediately called 911? Why? Unless someone was taking a goddamn lunch break, like they said. Because a baby ain't just gonna turn blue if you're sitting there watching it. Like, come on, let's use our common sense. And a 3-month-old shouldn't be left alone for a goddamn second. A 3-month-old that can choke on their spit up. A 3-month-old that can't hold their head up. Like, what would a... I cannot. Okay, let me keep on. Okay, so it says they negligently failed to immediately call 911 and render appropriate aid. Why? Why, y'all? Why? It says Daryl.
We're going to take a pause here for a minute. So, let me know what y'all think about this. What do y'all think happened here? Have y'all ever known Porsha to own the daycare? Did y'all know about this? Did y'all know Porsha owned the daycare and that a child was found? Did y'all know about this with Porsha with the daycare? I did not know Porsha owned the daycare. So she was the daycare owner and the mother was the CEO of the daycare. So did anybody know Porsha owned the daycare? Hello, Chanel Monet, my tea sipper. Hello. Why I feel like Shamia and Porsha, they have sisters. You think they have sisters? Okay. They look like it. Yeah, this is sad, the poor baby. Now imagine you taking your child to a daycare for the first day and he passes away. Everybody go to lunch and leave your baby unattended. So all the people went to lunch and left a 3-month-old baby in the baby bed by itself. Now we know that babies can choke, they can, spit up and stuff like that. So they have to be watched. You can, they can have their own room and stuff like that, but you constantly going in there checking on them. So if this baby turned blue, so for the baby to have to turn blue, y'all must have gone for a pretty long time. How long was y'all lunch break? An hour? Was y'all lunch break an hour? But this is the thing. When you work at a daycare center, I thought, they don't, one person go, and then when that person come back, another person go. I've never heard of a daycare. Well, back then, I don't know what the hell they was doing. But I never heard of a daycare letting everybody go to lunch and then the kids just staring there by themselves. Now, who the hell does that? Everybody go to lunch and leave the kids unattended, especially babies. That woman was right to sue all of them. I would have sued. Who does this? Left the baby in there unattended. And you said Porsha gonna act like nothing happened per usual. You said this is sad. Yeah, this is sad. I've never heard this before. You said rest in peace, little buddy. No, I did not know she owned a daycare. I did not either. I never knew this. Yeah, you have to turn the babies. Heard about the daycare situation. Miss Diane was also removed from the board of the famous grandfather for unauthorized use of funds. Removed from the board of the famous grandfather for unauthorized use of funds. Oh, wow. Well, Porsha said she retired her mother. She said her mother is retired. She retired her years ago. You said, I just found out she owned a daycare when she said it on her YouTube channel. Okay. Yes, you're supposed to rotate the baby. Porsha spoke of her daycare on her podcast a few weeks ago. She was talking to her daughter when her daughter said she wasn't very smart. Oh wow, Helen. Oh wow. I wouldn't leave my child till they can really talk. My hat off to all the mothers. Yes, that don't make no sense. But some people are saying Porsha was talking about her daycare on her podcast, but did she say anything about a child was found unalive at the daycare? Just saying, just asking for a friend. Just asking. But we're gonna finish listening to it, y'all. Let's finish listening to what they said. Let's finish listening. Let's finish listening.
Girl was transported to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta of Eagleston and did not survive, according to the DeKalb County Police Incident Report. An autopsy was inconclusive in identifying the exact cause of death beyond asphyxiation. So how are they not liable if the baby is asphyxiated and you're supposed to be in care of somebody? Hell to the no. Kelly Christensen, the lawyer for the baby's parents, told the AJC the newborn could have suffered from SIDS. Christian said, the suit, which does not name a specific amount in damages, also contends that Child First, which is the name of Porsha's daycare center, did not have a plan in place for emergencies. Okay, did y'all hear that? They did not have a plan in place for emergencies. So is that why it took them a long time to call 911? Because I'm not understanding. Emergency is an emergency. It's not let's think of a plan. Let's wait on calling 911. It says an attorney for the child care center told the AJC the baby's death was a tragedy that could not have been prevented. Is that what y'all going with? Okay. It says the findings show that at no time was Daryl Love left unattended, nor the room understaffed. Okay. I guess the lawyer did their thing. Attorney John A. Nichols Jr. said in a statement. Okay, so their lawyer said, the child care lawyer said, furthermore, the findings show that a written emergency plan was in place and that there was no delay in contacting 911. Okay. But listen to this, y'all. Online records show that officials have visited Child First 7 times since April 2010. On April 29, 2010, the center was cited for not having adequate staffing. In May, the center was cited for having incomplete records on the children attending. Are y'all following me here? And if y'all hear me pausing, it's because I can't fucking see. I need glasses, okay? My bad. So this is already showing a pattern of y'all ain't having enough staff. Y'all don't even have records on all the kids that are attending. Like, so how do you even know who's in attendance? Okay, but let's go on. Okay, so they dropped the link for the rest of that article, but then it says update. According to the court records, Porsha was the owner of the daycare at the time of the baby's death. She was served with a lawsuit as the company's registered agent. The suit was filed June 2011, 2 years after the baby's tragic death. This case went to trial and was conducted as a non-jury trial, a bench trial, on 12/11/11. Aw, 11/11 angel numbers, you go, baby. The parents won a compensatory judgment of $5.1 million. Okay? It says, I'm guessing the daycare's insurance company paid the award. Okay, so just because police charges don't be filed and you don't get found liable like that, just like OJ, how he slashed them two people, and then white people went and
Allegedly
tried to fight him in court, and OJ got off, and then they went and filed a civil suit. And when the civil suit happened, a whole bunch of evidence came out, and he got found liable and had to pay them money, even though they never got nothing because he did them wrong. But it still was found in civil court that OJ was liable. So yeah, it must have been found in court that Porsha Daycare was liable, and they had to pay that $5.1 million. And God bless those people, because they ain't never going to get their baby back. A 3-month-old. They never even got to see crawl, walk, talk, none of that. Just gone off the face.
All right, guys. So what do y'all think about this? What do y'all think about that they had to pay the $5.1 million? Yeah, I don't know. People are saying that they think allegedly, and for entertainment purposes, that Shamia Camp is putting this information out, because didn't nobody know that, to me, that Porsha had a daycare and that a child was found unalive there. So I don't know how this information got out. All of a sudden, Porsha has been on the Housewives for a long time, and this information never came up, never came out. You said Porsha needs to make a statement. I'm not sorry. I really don't like Porsha at all. Money don't mean ish if you are empty inside. You right about that, BJ. The mother probably doesn't want this brought up again. I know I wouldn't. Okay. BJ, you have a point. Okay. The insurance company paid, in my opinion. Yep. You said that's what you was thinking. Who leaked this? Because allegedly, they keep saying stuff about why did Porsha mom and Shamia mom fall out. Now, allegedly, it's all over the ledge. Porsha mom was having some financial trouble with a daycare that she owned, and I guess she confided in Shamia's mom, allegedly. And about she was having some problems, allegedly, with the daycare. So I guess allegedly she was thinking about selling it or whatever. Shamia mom allegedly went up under Porsha mom and bought the daycare. And that was a low down dirty move. If I'm confiding in you, telling you that I got some problems, some financial problems with my daycare, I'm thinking about selling it. And, why would you underhandedly go up under me and buy it? That's some underhanded stuff. So that's what I heard. That's all allegedly. Alleged and for entertainment purposes only. That's what I heard. So if I'm confiding in you about something, and why would you go? It's already hard for me, to get rid of my daycare. I'm having financial problems, and you go and buy it instead of being a friend and try to help me out with the financial difficulties I'm having. You go and buy it. That's a low down, dirty snake stuff right there. That's low down and dirty. I don't deal with people like that. I would never do any snake stuff like that to nobody. And these are what these people are doing. As you come in, guys, please hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up button. So, because that information got out about Shamia's mother, people are thinking maybe Shamia account allegedly leaked this and let it get out about Porsha's daycare. Because all the shade and stuff that's been thrown on Roa, nobody never said nothing about this. Don't you think when these women be going to the gutter that they would have brought this up about Porsha if they knew it? So this was buried. So somebody who know Porsha really good would have had to leak this. Y'all know these women be going to the gutter. If they knew this about Porsha, they would have been brought this up. Look what they did to Quad when Quad goddaughter or little cousin passed away out there in her pool. Did you see how they was bringing that up on Quad? So do you think if they knew this about Porsha, they would have brought this up to Porsha when they was going back and forth with Porsha? Y'all don't think they would have been shooting shots at Porsha with this? Somebody who knew Porsha really, really well, because this happened in 2009, and Porsha was not even on Housewives then. So somebody who know her well, had to bring this up or leak it to somebody to bring this out. Because think about it, guys. Y'all know the Real Housewives of Atlanta, they be going to hell. If they knew this shit about Porsha, don't you think they would have been shooting shots? They did it to Quad. Just saying. Just saying, y'all. Now, Porsha and her mama, see, Porsha was the owner and her mother was the CEO of the daycare. Her and her mother was the respondent. Both of them were. Because Porsha was the owner and her mother was the CEO of the daycare. So it don't matter if you're the CEO, you gonna get it too. So both of them were sued. But you know, the daycares, they have insurance, so ain't no money coming out of Porsche pocket. The insurance company gonna have to pay it, which was a 5.1 million. And you know, Porsha responded. I used to work at a daycare center. We never left the children alone, period. Right. You said especially Marlo. Yeah, they would have dragged Porsha with this. So, like I said, somebody that know Porsha really well leaked this. Allegedly, people are thinking Shamia may have leaked this because of what's coming out about her mama. That she allegedly brought the daycare from up under Porsha mom, allegedly. Some people thought it was about a man, but it's not about a man. And they also saying that Porsha mom was not married to Porsha's dad. She was married to Porsha's stepsister, Lauren's mother. So Porsha has other brothers and sisters on her dad's side, but it seems like she's closer to Lauren. Just saying. Now, honey, I just was snooping around, on Facebook looking for me some content, and I ran up on it. So if I didn't ran up on it, let's see who else didn't ran up on it. Now, like all things said on this channel are alleged and for entertainment purposes only. I do not own the rights to any of the clips or any of the music on this channel. Shout out to Coco for the information. Shout out to Coco. Shout out to Coco. All right, shout out to Coco and T. She has brought this information to us. Like I said, I was wondering what Porsha did before she came on the Housewife, because I know Shamia went to college and things like that. I didn't know what Porsha did. Porsha owns some daycares. And now that y'all saying that Porsha was talking about it on her podcast. But she didn't say nothing about a child passed away. And I don't blame her. I wouldn't talk about it either. That, probably was tragic for Porsha too, that happened at her daycare. But some funny business allegedly was going on. They said they never had a good attendance record of who was at the daycare, who was not at the daycare. They never had adequate staff there. So that's another red flag. So y'all never had adequate staff there. So I could see how something like this could have happened, because if you don't have a number of people there to watch the kids and y'all go on to lunch, then how does that work? Just saying. I'm just saying, y'all. Just saying. So some things were going on at that daycare. And daycares were 24 hours. So, hey, you wanted to go out, you ain't got no babysitter, take them on over there to the daycare. Her daycare was 24 hours. So that was a lucrative business. Just think about it. Many people that want to go out and things like that. Just saying. So if her mother owns some daycares, then quite naturally she'll put Porsha on so Porsha can own some daycare. Now daycares, they make good money. They make good money. Just saying. Let me know what y'all think in the chat about this. You said at the daycare center there was 8 of y'all that worked there. Okay, Monique. You said that was 16 years ago. Porsha was really young. Okay. 51 likes and 63 in the chat. Can we please get the likes up, please? And thank you. Yeah. Can we please get the likes up, please? And thank you. Even if you're up there in the bushes, come on down and give a thumbs up. But like I said, somebody had to leak this. Because like I said, guys, this would have been came up. This would have been came up. This just didn't get put out here. Somebody that, like I said, that knows Porsha really good leaked this. Because you said Roar came out in 2012. And all these women that get into it and they go to the gutter, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. Somebody leaked this. Yep, somebody leaked this. Yeah, so what do you think? You think Porsha's gonna come out with come out and talk about what happened at the daycare? Because this is gonna be all over YouTube in a minute. So do y'all think Porsha and her mom gonna come out and say something? Or do you think Porsha's gonna come out and say something? Let me know what y'all think. I like for y'all to comment in the chat. Let me know what y'all think, because I do reply to my comments. Also, how do y'all feel about Christian allegedly being a deadbeat with a 3- and 4-year-old? No child support. Kids been in the hospital, but him and Jennifer are out here eating at the finest restaurants, going all out the country, doing their thing, and he does nothing for his kids. Let me know in the comments how y'all feel about that. Would y'all date a man who did that? Would you even marry a man who did that to his kids? Let me know what y'all, think in the chat. Hello, sexy diva, my tea sipper. Hello, hello, hello. You said daycare centers are not for the weak, especially if you take care of infants. Right. You right about that. Y'all, but I just wanted to bring y'all this information. And like I say, I have no ill will towards Porsha or anybody that I'm talking about. But my job is to bring y'all content and let y'all know what's going on. All right, guys. Let's see here. All right, guys. Y'all know I have to be on another panel here at 7:45, which is dropping extra sassy tea talk. So I got to get ready for that panel. But I just wanted to bring y'all that little bit of commentary. So let me know in the chats what y'all think about the Diddy trial. Also, let me know what y'all think about Jennifer and Christian, her husband, about him not taking care of his 3 and 4-year-old. And also, let me know what y'all think about Porsha and this daycare. Also, if you just came in, please give a thumbs up. Also, follow me on my other platforms. Drop the T on all platforms. And also, think about becoming a subscriber. If you're not, think about becoming one of my T drops. All right, guys, let me get out of here if I could get ready for dropping extra sassy tea talk. After that show, will be over here. Oh, come on at 9:45 with some more tea. All right, guys. I will see you guys at 7:45 on the panel. Bye, everyone.